Hi church, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm sitting here in a room with some natural sunlight, so if the video looks strange at places, it's simply because of the change in lighting. So it's not an episode of Touched by an Angel, I can assure you that. But this is really our second video in 2 days. If you missed yesterday's video, it's really important for members of our Patria Mossel Bay family to go view that. We have some important information that we shared with you in that video. And if you somehow didn't receive the link, please send us a message on our church WhatsApp number and we'd be happy to forward that to you so you can also be included in that. Now, if you didn't see it, one of the things you would have missed in there is that we announced that we will officially be starting with our worship services again from this Sunday, the 16th of August, and we just can't wait. We are so excited. As we shared a number of weeks ago, our intention was really to see maybe if some of the protocols and the regulations would change that would make it just easier for us to connect and to fellowship and worship together. But those things are still intact, and part of this video is really to share some of those details with you so that we're all clear on what the boundaries and the regulations are for now. Obviously, we are aware of the fact that the President will likely issue another statement, a public address this week, and so we're watching out for that to see if there will be any changes also in how churches can conduct their services. But for now, we're just going to go with the regulations that they have given us. But we have decided unanimously as an eldership that it's really time for us to get started again and to really make the best with what we have, to get going, to get together, as God desires for us and commands us in fact in His Word, to fellowship and to not neglect that aspect of being together. Obviously up until now we were together in a different sense online, and those online services will continue. So for those of you who are over 60 and for those who might have some pre-existing medical conditions or comorbidities, as they say, that might put you in a vulnerable position in terms of possibly contracting the virus, the online services will continue. And so from our side, we are obliged by government to recommend that those of you who fall into those categories would rather continue watching the online services, although you are not in any way prohibited. You are more than welcome to come and attend the services at your own discretion if you feel that it is safe to do so. And so I just want to share a few things with you that we need to keep in mind. Now, some of you might know these regulations already, and others might not be aware of any of them. But one of the things here's a list of the things that we need to keep in mind. Firstly, we cannot have any physical contact. Absolutely no physical contact is allowed. So I know for myself and most of you, I'm sure, would love to just greet each other with a big hug and welcome one another again and just say hello and after such a long time. But for the time being, we cannot do that. So let's abide by that. Secondly, we need to wear a mask at all times. From as you approach the building right through the service until you leave, we need to keep that mask on. We need to practice social distancing, keeping a distance of 1.5 meters apart from each other at all times. The chairs will be spaced 1.5 meters apart from one another. We can only have 50 people per service, and I'll share just a little bit more about that just now. In terms of the worship and the singing, we are not allowed at this stage, because of how the virus could spread, to sing collectively together as we are used to do. But something we can just be encouraged by is how Jesus said that the Father is looking for those who will worship Him in spirit and in truth. And that is powerful. And as we are going to listen maybe to some songs that we'll play for everyone to listen to, you can stand, you can kneel, you can lie down on your face before God, and you can maybe with silent prayer, you can worship God still in spirit and in truth. He knows what's alive in our hearts, and the worship that we express in that way up until the time that we can sing loudly and lift our praises to God again. So we have to abide by that. So we would either have a solo performance or a pre-recorded song or music that we will play, and we will facilitate that. I want to encourage you guys that as we get together, that you're welcome to bring your children along. You can put out a blanket for them with toys and some things to play with, and to just keep them with you. We won't have any kids church happening at the moment. We will let you know once we reach that place that we can do that again. But you're welcome to bring your kids along, and they will be included in the number of 50 per service that we can gather together. If you have a testimony or a word of knowledge or wisdom or a prophetic word, or you just want to share what you've been going through during this time, we're going to create space for those kind of things. We will have a mic standing on a mic stand that no one will touch, that you can keep your distance from, but that you can share over what you've been going through, or just to encourage the rest of the people. So our format is going to look a little bit different, and it's going to make it more interactive, and it will feel more like fellowship in that sense, which is really what all of us are longing for. I think we can really agree with that. Now, very importantly, we need to know by the end of tomorrow, that is Wednesday, whether you will continue to watch the online services for now, to join us there, which will be pre-recorded, or whether you would like to join us on a Sunday morning. If we have only one service, it will run from 9 to 10. If we add a second one, it will be from 10:30 to 11:30. We need to allow half an hour space between services. And so for those who start at 9, we're going to request those people to arrive half an hour beforehand, just so that you can quickly fill in the form, that we can take your temperature, and that we can just do all the due processes with that, and make sure that we've got everything in order. And the same for those who would come for a potential 10:30 service, to already be there 10 o'clock, so that it leaves enough time for everybody to be checked in, to fill in their forms. And please remember your masks. We unfortunately cannot give you access to the building if you do not have that in place. We want to respect our government. We want to take care of your safety. So we want to do things right. And we, as I said, we're going to make the most of what we have now, and trust God that that this virus would be lifted, that we would be able to get in a position again where we can gather like we usually do, that we can enjoy those freedoms. But in the meantime, it's important for us to gather, and we really feel as the leadership that the time is right, and so we just can't wait to see you. So let us know if you will be joining our morning services. You don't have to let us know which time yet, because based on the numbers we will determine the structure and how many services, and also let us know how many of your family will be attending. Don't forget to add your name and surname as well, that we, in case we don't have your number, that we know who we are talking to, and that we can just keep a good register of this. After that, just to let you know already, in terms of the booking, you from Thursday onwards, as we open it up, it will be to the same WhatsApp number that's on the screen, that you will notify us that you will be joining and how many people will be joining, and then Christine will issue you with a ticket number, a temporary ticket number for the respective Sunday. And so we're just going to use this system for now. Please be patient with us as we figure this thing out. We might switch over to a different system, an online booking platform in the near future, but for now this is how we will do it, just to get things rolling. And let's please bear with one another. And just a final thing, if you would like to volunteer to help us just with the packing of the chairs, especially if some of the chairs have been moved, as maybe couples sit together and they move the chairs closer and families sit together, and just to clean it afterwards with all the chemicals that we need to use for that. If you would like to volunteer for that, or to help at the door with just registering the people and getting everybody safely inside, please let us know. We do need volunteers, and the more hands we have, the easier this will be for all of us. So bless you guys. We can't wait to see you. Have an absolutely fantastic week. Please let us know if you will be joining us on Sunday, and we can't wait to see you there.